Hey everyone, this is Devin Sheehan with Remax on the Fitzpatrick team, and today I'm going to take you in the day of the life of an agent. We start off here at Pulse Gym. Every day I try to start with a workout to get the blood flowing, get my mind off of business, and one of the things that our team really pushes is living well. So starting the day off at the gym is probably one of the best things that I can do and that you can do for yourself, especially with a busy schedule. So next, I'm going to take you to my office. I'll show you how I really go about setting up my day with my assistant. So we're going to meet my assistant, Tracy. We'll go through some emails. We're also going to do an educational video. I try to push out one educational video a week. Come on and let's check it out. So typically, I start my morning off with the workout, then I come to my office, and I get here right around usually 8 to 9 o'clock, and my assistant Tracy. And Tracy and I really work together. She handles basically every single task that I send you. There's a lot of tasks throughout real estate transactions. Tracy likes to tell me on everything that I've missed throughout the day, and she basically makes sure that everything doesn't fall through the crack, and we have systems in place to do that. So the educational video I'm going to film is a lot of people are looking for rentals right now. And what people don't realize is that it may sound like a good idea to get a pet, to buy a dog, to buy a cat, because a lot of people do it. It does limit the type of rentals you can rent because landlords are fearful that a pet may ruin, the property. So we're gonna film that today. I'm gonna push out that video and you'll see how we put it together. Some of the things on the personal side that I really like to do, for me, I am a man of faith and I believe in the Bible. I believe, taking that time out of your day to read the word, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, gives me that foundation. And that foundation has really helped me in business. A lot of people focus on the money. A lot of people focus on making a commission, but what people forget is if you do the right things for people, the money will always follow. So for me, having integrity and having a level of honesty within the real estate business and in life is probably one of the most important things that I hold myself accountable to. What our plan to do right now is Tracy oftentimes helps me drive around so I can stay focused on my phone. So we're gonna go to a property that I bought. What you'll see at this property at 239 West Main Road is we're doing a whole interior, floors and painting, and I'm excited to show you guys. So the painting crew's here. Always make sure that these guys are showing up, so it's good to check in on your project. They're putting all the prep, so this is wood putty so that they'll fill all the holes so that way they can sand it, and then when they prime again, everything's smooth. Of course, the fireplace is gonna go all white. This was really dated, so we wanna modernize everything. There'll be a TV over the wall, over the fireplace, and it'll come out really nice. One tip advice that I give people when buying furniture, one thing that I always like to do is I always will tape out the furniture sizes so that I can get a feel for the space. Oftentimes you buy a piece of furniture and it's too big, it's too small, and you can't see the right layout of the furniture. So that's one tip that I recommend. So one of my favorite features of this property is there's about 800 square feet that has not been built out yet. So this whole area we're standing is high enough. You could dormer out the back to get another bathroom in here. But I like this because you can really make this cozy. You can make this office space. You can make this a master suite. And it's already got insulation. So all you really need is the sheetrock, frame it, mud tape, paint, shiplap it, and it's good to go. So it's exciting to see, and that's why one of the reasons why I bought this property. So obviously I walked you through one of my properties. I'm gonna show you one of my clients' properties over on 24 Fenner Ave, so follow me. Today we're at 24 Fenner Ave. We just came from West Main Road, and 24 Fenner Ave is a really special property in my opinion. So my clients were living in London at the time and were looking for a second home in Newport. So I walked through the property, I FaceTimed them in the property, and I basically said, this property has great bones. I know that's a cliche in real estate, but I've done a lot of flips, so using my experience, I felt very strongly about this property. Now, they ended up putting in an offer on the property. We ended up winning that offer. And then they relied on me through the whole process to basically hire all the contractors, the painters, the floor guys, so that this property was done once they got back to the stateside. So what you'll see as you'll walk through is a finished product of what I managed through the process, and they got here and saw it for the first time done. So it's a really cool story. So one of the favorite features that my clients really liked about this property was the size of the backyard. It's hard to get a lot of this size in Newport. Now what's really interesting is they went with this navy blue color and yellow doors because he's in the Navy. And it really meant a lot to him to have a property that represented kind of his identity in the service. So that's why you'll see this color blue, and also the doors are yellow. So right now what I did was I took you guys to one of my investment properties. It's a 6-unit building here on Ruggles Ave. And one thing I always stress, especially to younger buyers or people who are just starting off within their careers, one of the best ways to build real estate and build wealth is through multifamily real estate and investment properties. As an agent, yes, I am transactional, but I'm also an investor in a lot of properties too as well. So I think that allows my skill set to be deployed to my clients, and there's a lot of value adds and experiences that I can give to my clients that maybe other agents cannot. Bing is very good with people, and he loves being on camera. So Bing is a part Bengal cat. We adopted him from the Potter League. On his cage, when we picked him up, it said that I hate cats, but love dogs. The lady took him out of the cage and he saw the other cats. He went ballistic, crawled all over her, and she had to put him back in the cage, and she's like, I'm sure you guys don't want Bing. And my wife was like, no, we want Bing. But he's been the greatest cat in the world ever since. Right, Bing? One thing that I thought would be good to touch upon was kind of how I started, how I got into real estate. So I started a business at URI called Hungry Button. At the time I was a senior, I was 23 years old, and that business still exists today. Obviously there's more competition in the market with things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. But what that business really allowed me to do, I think the best takeaway I got from that business is I would start every day when I started that business, I would be on campus handing out flyers to the students, and students would tell you, I don't want it, get away from me, I'm not interested. And the one thing that I felt like that built for me was overcoming fear and denial. And in real estate, you have to overcome that because it is a numbers game, and you have to be okay with having difficult conversations. You have to be okay with being told no. So that business really taught me how to understand P&Ls, how to understand denial, how to overcome fear. Really, school's great for education, but you really begin to understand how to run a business once you're running a business, and understanding how to set up LLCs, how to go to S-Corps, what bank accounts to use, how to leverage your business lines of credit. And those are all things that I learned from that business. So I looked at that as it really helped me get to where I am today. Now, real estate was something I jumped into because when I was starting that business, I wasn't making any money from that business. So I was doing both jobs to offset the income from something that I developed. So I got into real estate about 7 or 8 years ago. Real estate really began to take off for me. That business became more secondary. My dad runs that company. But for me, that without that company, I don't think I would have ever gotten to where I am today in real estate. Obviously, you've been following me all day, and I wanted to introduce my wife. You met Bing earlier, but this is my wife, Julia, and we've been together how long now?
9 years.
Went to URI together, didn't talk at URI. She was always chasing me, and I just couldn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Absolutely not true.
But we ended up getting together after school because of a Facebook like. Can you believe that?
Sure did.
Facebook like, and then I messaged her, and then I said, when you're in town,
persistent.
give me a call. And fortune is in the follow-up, so I followed up with Julia a bunch of times. On some days we talk about, when are we gonna have kids? How are we gonna balance it? I would say that one thing that real estate allows us to do is really gives us a lot of freedom and flexibility, but it also requires a lot of time and energy. So, you know, we can take vacations when we want to take vacations. We can take a day off when we want to take a day off. But we probably work more than most people.
No, we just stop our day at a certain time.
Yeah.
We're always really strict about stopping at a certain time, but
Well,
some days you can't. Some days real estate is demanding all hours of the day. So
at the end of the day, for me, is she basically knows that I'm pretty worn out the time the day ends. So she always, one thing about Julia, she always will have like dinner planned or cooked or where we're going out to dinner. But really ending the day, I usually check my email. I go through, what I do is I don't click on any of the text message I can't respond to right then and there. So I'll go back through all my text messages and make sure that I've responded to all my clients, because that little blue dot stays next to it. And then I typically eat, and then we put our phones aside and we'll either go work out again or we'll watch TV or a show. I like watching Shark Tank, The Profit. Those are really the shows I like. I'm not a big movie guy. I like learning stuff all the time, so I'm always like, turn the movie off, I want to watch a documentary.
But honestly, by the end of the day, we're so exhausted that if we can get through a Shark Tank episode, that's great, but
yeah, we're usually
doesn't happen.
In bed by 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for following me in the day of the life video that we did. I'm glad you got to see what I got to do throughout the day, being at the office, doing some educational videos, being on some of the appointments that I go on, and also being able to meet my wife, Julia. So if you want to see more in the day of the life of our agents, don't forget to hit the button below and subscribe, and follow the Fitzpatrick Team's page.